My name is Regis Folbaum. I've been appointed the CEO of STET. Last year we processed 35 billion transactions for a value of around 7,000 billion euros. We touch every means of payments, mainly in France and Belgium. We built other added value services and fraud management as well.
Since you've taken over STET, I think really there was an energy that you've reinvigorated in that organization.
I'm a strong believer of partner-led innovation. One of the reasons why I was very adamant in pursuing our partnership and strengthening it is, because we need to invest for the future of STET and continue to have the means to do it, to modernize our tools, our infrastructure, which is also mission critical. Yeah. We have this pan-European ambition.
Yes.
You go obviously beyond, but you have roots deep in Portugal and in Europe. And AI is such an important matter. We need to leverage those intelligence and AI capabilities that you have.
We've just gone live. Today is a celebration day for us together. If you could address, let's say, the Feedzai community that made this possible, what would you tell them?
I want to congratulate you and your team for their agility. What I can certainly recommend is keep your customer-oriented values and focus. Keep this agility, not only from an IT standpoint, but from a mindset, also an entrepreneurial mindset. Be bold, I would say, and be able to go outside of your initial tracks. So, continue to take bets, reasonable bets, calculated bets, to be able to do great things.